Any diet, at least in most cases, will always have some level of success to them because they are all based on this same exact concept, this basic, simple concept of What's up, Team UNALTERED? My name is Zach Munoz, and today is the day. Now, on this channel, we always try to provide you with as much value as possible. We never want to bullshit you. We just want to give you the straightforward way on how to achieve real results, and that is what I hope to do today in today's video. And we're going over the foundation of weight loss, right? The straightforward, basic, simple way to lose weight. Screw all the fad diets that are out there. There's about 90 plus of them, and we'll put them, a list of them somewhere here between keto, paleo, Atkins, Weight Watchers, pasta diet, Miami diet. I mean, the list goes on. There'll be a next new trending diet tomorrow. Now, I want to preface this real quick because I know there's going to be some people that come, and tell me that they've used a specific diet that has helped them achieve some sort of level of success. But the reality is that any diet, at least in most cases, will always have some level of success to them because they are all based on this same exact concept, this basic, simple concept of caloric deficit, calorie deficit, meaning that you are burning more calories than what you are intaking through food, right? I'll say that one more time. Caloric deficit means that you are burning more calories than what you are intaking through food. And all the fad diets out there rely upon this same exact foundation. So in today's video, I'm hoping to take somewhat of a complex subject. We're going to be going over some math. So I'm going to try to make it as simple and understandable as possible so that you know how to manipulate your calories in order to lose or gain weight depending on what your personal fitness goals are. We also have a macro nutrition calculator. We'll put the link somewhere on screen so you can check that out as well. It is a free resource for anybody who comes to our website that you can input your weight, your age, your activity level, and it'll automatically compute this number for you so that you don't have to go through this math. But we're going to go through it just so that you understand the basic foundation of weight loss. So let's jump right into it with step number one. Step number one, we need to calculate what your BMR is, right? Basal metabolic rate. This is the amount of calories that your body is burning at rest. In other words, if you were to lay in bed all day for a 24-hour period, how many calories would you be burning? That is what your BMR is. So for today's example, we're gonna be using a 160-pound person, right? The formula for this is to take your body weight in kilograms and multiply it by 24 hours in a day. So when we do that with a 160-pound person, we get a BMR of 1,752 calories. That is the amount of calories that a 160-pound person on average is burning throughout a 24-hour period at complete rest, not doing anything. Now, number two, we need to factor in what your activity level is. Now, there's different brackets of activity levels. You have sedentary, light, moderate, and heavy. For today's example, we are going to be going with the light activity level, which is the activity level of most of our audience, meaning myself included, right? Meaning that you have a sedentary job, but you do work out a few times a week. So for today's example, we're going to be using the formula for that specific activity level, but we will provide the formulas for all the activity levels somewhere in the description below so that you can calculate that for yourself, right? But for today's example, again, we're using the light activity level, which calls for an additional 30% of calories, right, to factor in that physical activity. So we're gonna do just that. We're going to take our BMR, right, 1752, and we're going to multiply it by 30% to get 526 calories that we need to add on in order to factor in for our activity level, right? So now we have 2,278 calories, right? Our BMR plus our activity calories. Step number three, we are going to factor in digestion. Now, when you eat, there is a process called the thermic effect, meaning that your body requires energy to process, break down, and digest the food you're eating. According to Mr. Frederick Hatfield, who has a PhD in sports science, he is a world-renowned powerlifter, and he is the founder of Men's Fitness Magazine. He suggests adding 10% to factor in this thermic effect of food, right, for the process of digestion. So we're gonna do just that. We're going to take now our new number of 2,278, and we're going to multiply it by 10% to factor in the amount of calories that we need to add on to include and consider the process of digestion. So when we take 2,278 and we multiply it by 10%, we now get 228 calories to factor in for the process of digestion. So now when we add the 2,278 to the 228 for digestion, we are now left with 2,506 calories. Now the last step is going to be step number 4, which we need to factor in your age, right? We know that when we get older, our metabolism slows down, right? Particularly when you hit age 30, your metabolism starts to decline dramatically, right? So we need to factor in the amount of calories that we need to include into this calculation to consider that slowdown of metabolism. Now, there's different brackets to this, just like there's different brackets to the activity levels depending on how old you are. For today's example, we are going to be using the age bracket of 30 to 49 years old. Now again, if you are not within this range, we will include the formulas for all these calculations somewhere in the description so that you can calculate that for yourself. Or again, you can go to our free resource nutrition calculator and you can just input your weight, age, and activity level, and you can get this number as well. But again, for today's example, we're going to do the formula for the age range of 30 to 49 years old, which says that we need to now deduct 3%. So we're going to do just that. We're going to take our number, 2,506 calories, and we're going to subtract 3% to now get the most important number of them all, which is now 2,430. This is our maintenance number, our maintenance calories. Now, what does that mean? This means that this is the amount of calories that we need to consume on a daily basis to maintain exactly where we are, not to lose weight and not to gain weight. Now, why is this so crucial? This is crucial because now that we understand what our maintenance calories are, we can manipulate this number up and down to lose or gain weight depending on what our personal fitness goals are. And we also know that there are 3,500 calories in a pound. So if we have our maintenance number of calories to stay exactly where we are, not to lose or not to gain weight, and we know that there's 3,500 calories in a pound, we know that we need to reduce our daily caloric intake by 500 to 1,000 calories a day to lose on average 1 to 2 pounds per week, which is perfect. You do not want to lose any more than 2 pounds a week because then you start consuming your muscle mass and you do not want to do that. You want to specifically remove fat. So again, we have our maintenance number. We will deduct 500 to 1,000 calories per day from that maintenance number so that we can lose an average of 1 to 2 pounds per week. Now, if reducing your daily calories by 500 to 1,000 calories is too harsh to start from the gate, then you can slow down a little bit so that you can sustain this weight loss, right? We do not want to make any drastic changes that you cannot stick to. So if you do need to slow down this process, all you have to do is cut these numbers in half. In other words, instead of reducing your daily calories by 500 to 1,000, you can reduce your daily calories by 250 to 500 calories a day, and you will lose the same amount of weight, but now in 2 weeks instead of 1 week's time. And that is okay. Again, we are going for sustained weight loss. We do not want to go on an up and down roller coaster of weight loss and weight gain, right? We want to be able to lose weight and keep the weight off for good. So this is the basic foundation that any fad diet that you've read about online follows. It is all about being in a caloric deficit. So if you do not want to do all this math, again, we will provide you with the links so that you can go to our free macro calculator, input your weight, age, and activity level, and get this number as well so that you can start losing weight as soon as possible so that you can achieve your personal fitness goals, right? Now, before I end this video, I want to provide you with 4 insightful action tips that you can implement today so that you can start seeing some of these results as you're following your personal fitness goals. Number 1, stick to lean protein sources, right? You want to have lean protein sources that are high in protein, low in carbs, and low in fat. These are things like egg whites, chicken breasts, lean turkey and ham, roast beef. Stick to your lean protein sources. Number 2, complex carbs. We do not want to stuff our body with a bunch of garbage, right? Simple carbohydrates, things like candy bars, muffins, cakes, ice cream. I love all these things too, and I will eat them in moderation here and there, but we want to try to stick to complex carbs as much as possible. Things like brown rice, quinoa, potatoes, right? Complex, nutrient-dense carbs that are going to help us achieve the physique that we're looking for. Number 3, right? Stay away from fats. Now, fat is not evil. Fat is not the culprit. You do need some healthy fats in your diet to actually lose weight. But the reality is that even if we shoot for 0, we are always going to get some level of fat in our diet because fat is everywhere. Even if you try to go to the store and get the leanest meats possible, there is some small percentage of fat in that meat, right? So we recommend that you just stay away from fat altogether because the reality is that you are going to get it into your diet anyway, right? Last but not least, number 4, drink water. You hear me talking about this all the time. Water is crucial to your weight loss goals. Not only are there thousands of studies showing that water intake helps with weight loss, but it is 0 calories, right? In other words, we want to try to stay away from the very sugary soft drinks like soda, sweet tea, right? Juices. Only stick to water. It's 0 calories. It helps with your weight loss. It's a natural appetite suppressant. It's going to help you feel good, look good. We need to drink water. Now, how much water should we be drinking? Well, rule of thumb is the standard 8x8 rule, which means that you will have 8 glasses of 8 ounces of water each for a total of 64 ounces of water a day. That is the minimum amount of water that you should be drinking, right? If you're more active, you might need to be drinking more water, right? Upwards to a gallon, which will be 128 ounces of water. So these are the 4 tips. I hope that you guys found this video useful and helpful to approaching your weight loss goals. Again, I see all these fad diets out there, and honestly, I'm personally sick of it because I actually hate the word diet. It implies a short-term process, and I know that is not what you want, right? You want to lose weight and you want to keep it off for good so that you can live your best life. So I hope that this video provided some insight on the very basic way to lose weight with all the fad diets that are out there. And then if you want to follow one of these trending diets, that it's up to you, but at least now you have the foundation. So thank you again. Leave your comments below. I want to know what you thought about the video. Did it help you? Did it not help you? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you again. Until next time.